fact, the Department of Motor Vehicles states that you cannot park in a driveway, period. And yet the problem persists. So instead of doing something rash, register your complaint by contacting 311. There you could file a report letting them know that your driveway is being blocked. Or you could contact your local police precinct. Cars can be ticketed and...
Good evening. In the order of presentation, be myself. I'll be introducing Chief of Detectives Bob Boyce to give you details of the investigation we would like to speak about. The mayor will then speak, and then Eric Adams, the borough president of Brooklyn. We're here this evening asking you through the media to assist us in asking the public's assistance in apprehending an individual that we have now identified we believe is responsible for the murder of the child on Sunday evening in Brooklyn. And we will give you an update on that investigation and why we believe that the individual that we have identified, which is on this poster to your right, my left, is the individual that we are seeking for the murder on Sunday evening in Brooklyn. With that, I would like to ask Chief of Detectives, Bob Boyce, to update you on the investigation that he has been leading since the events of the weekend in Brooklyn. As you're aware, there was a 19-year-old woman stabbed to death Friday evening in the 7-5 precinct. 2 nights later, Sunday evening, 2 young children assaulted in an elevator in one of the public housing developments in that area, with one child, the young boy, dying, and the female child, fortunately, surviving and in the hospital recovering. We need your assistance. We need the public's assistance to apprehend this individual as soon as possible. Chief Boyce.
Good evening. In the homicide investigation of Prince Joshua Oviedo and the assault of Michaela Capers at 845 Skank Avenue in Brooklyn on June 1st at approximately 5:50 p.m., forensic evidence was recovered from the crime scene by the Forensic Investigation Division of the Detective Bureau. From that evidence, an identification was made. That individual has been identified as Daniel St. Hubert. He is a black male, 27 years old, with 9 prior arrests. He is currently on parole and is wanted by Brooklyn detectives at this time. The last observation at the crime scene, he was wearing a gray T-shirt and blue jeans. He is 5'9", 210 pounds. We are asking the public to, if he is seen, to please call 911 immediately. If you have any information about him, please call 577-TIPS. Everybody should consider him armed and dangerous. We ask that nobody approach this individual. As I said, he's on parole for assault. He is a dangerous individual. We showed you his picture there. We believe he has altered his appearance by shaving his beard and his hair, and that is one of the photos when he was released from parole, the green photo here. If you see this photo, witnesses at the scene compiled this composite sketch. This is also a picture of the knife as well. He is wanted only for the homicide of Joshua Oviedo and the assault of Michaela Capers.
Thank you very much. Well, I want to first thank Commissioner Bratton and Chief Boyce for their extraordinary effort in this case. A lot of personnel have been deployed. Incredible amount of work has been done since Sunday evening to find this individual. And I want to commend them for their efforts. There's an incredible sense of urgency here at Police Plaza to get this done, and no effort is being spared to ensure that this individual is apprehended. I want to thank Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, who you'll hear from in a moment, who has been an extraordinary leader in Brooklyn, but before that was a member of the NYPD, rising to rank of captain. So he's been a crucial element in the effort to bring police and community closer together so we can exactly do things like this, get the community's help in apprehending a violent criminal that we have to get now. The human dynamic here is so deeply moving, so disturbing. 2 young children on a summer evening on their way to get ice cream. I spoke to the father of PJ Oviedo, yesterday. I spoke to the mother today. These parents are in such pain now. As a parent myself, my heart goes out to them and all the family members. They, like all of us, there's nothing that can bring their child back, but the one thing they ask of all of us is to help find this violent criminal and bring him in. So I ask all New Yorkers to help in this investigation in any way you can. Do it for this grieving family, do it for all of us so we can be safe. The family of Michaela Capers, thank God she's doing much better. She's a strong young lady. But that family has gone through so much as well. We owe it to them to help at this moment. NYPD, again, doing extraordinary work, as is typical, finding information even under the most difficult circumstances, and now doing everything in our power to find them. But the public is crucial here, because this individual is most likely somewhere in the city right now, and it's crucial that people act. If you see someone who looks like this, if you believe you are looking at this individual, you have to call 911. It's crucial. You have information. You're not actually witness to where the individual is, but you have information. Call 1-800-577-TIPS. I urge all New Yorkers to realize, if you see something, we always say it in the case of fighting terror, if you see something, say something. Do not hold back, because that phone call you make may be the breakthrough we need to get this individual and help make sure that everyone is safe, and do all we can to help these poor families in agony, just wishing that this individual can be found and apprehended. We owe it to them to do all we can. With that, I want to bring up the Borough President of Brooklyn, Eric Adams.
Thank you, Mayor, and I truly thank you, Police Commissioner. I remember on Sunday, after this incident took place, and speaking with the Commissioner on the phone, the last things he said was, "Eric, we're going to catch him." And I whispered that into the ear of the parents. After 22 years of policing, you think you saw it all, but seeing those knives, wounds inside the bodies of those children just went through the heart of all New Yorkers. And now it's time for us to do what we do best, particularly the city and how we respond during these tragic moments. And we see vigilant police tactics and not vigilantism, and that's important. And now we need to bring it to the next level and ask all New Yorkers in Brooklyn night. I'm going to respond back to the area this evening and tell all individuals that it's about reporting to the police what they see. The photo says a lot, and when you look at the police artist drawing, it shows how well our police department activates during times like this. That is very close to the image, and it gave us much of the tools that we need to bring this person to justice. This strikes at the heart of what's best at us, and not only as New Yorkers, but human beings, and we are one step closer to bringing this person to justice. And I thank the NYPD, and I thank you, Commissioner, and we're going to continue until this job is done. Thank you.
What I'd like to emphasize, if I may, beforehand, in terms of the two photos on the wanted poster, we believe that he has, in fact, shaved so that he looks like the photo on the left, shaved head, shaved face. So we don't want to confuse the public. We believe within the last several days that he has changed his appearance. Okay. We have said nothing about DNA. We have forensic evidence that confirms for us the identity of the individual that we're looking for homicide. We've made no specification about that evidence.
Commissioner, how old is the suspect? Is he a New York resident?
It's right on the poster, but Chief Boyce, if you want to speak to some of those details.
As I said before, he's 5'9", 210 pounds. He's 27 years old. He has a prior address in the East New York area, yes.
Chief, I believe you said he's a suspect only in one incident. Have you ruled him out in the other staff?
We have not, but we have not made the case on that yet. This case, we have probable cause to arrest.
Why do you believe he's still in New York City?
We don't. We're following, we have reason to believe he was supposed to show up at a location today, and he's not there. He does not have a car. so we feel he may be using public transportation. We're not sure of that, though.
For what case he was under parole?
I'm sorry?
What kind of case he was under parole?
He was paroled on 5/23, May 23rd, for an assault, for a domestic assault. Most of it is, he's a violent individual. He assaulted a corrections officer. He assaulted a police officer. And while the corrections officer, obviously, when he was in jail.
Is he mentally disturbed? Do you know that?
Right now, we have just his violent nature. We don't know about his psychiatric history at all right now. So we're going forward. He just recently paroled, so we'll find that as we go forward.
Two more questions, two more.
Is the plan still to add more police officers in housing projects within the city? If we elaborate on that plan a little bit more?
I'll say broadly, the Commissioner has already been making some substantial moves to reinforce some of the precincts that need additional help, and some of those are areas where there's a lot of public housing developments. Look, we know there's a lot we have to do here. I said the other day, we are going to move to immediately implement the security cameras for which the funding was already there, but the action wasn't. I said that was an unacceptable state of affairs. We will fix that immediately. All those security cameras will be in place this year. Commissioner and I have been talking now for weeks, and he has been making very decisive actions to reinforce, again, key precincts. That will continue. The Commissioner can go into detail. But we're going to be working very closely with residents of public housing, not just at the boulevard houses and the surrounding developments, but in other areas that have been hard hit, to find ways to help them more effectively and beef up and work more closely with them to keep them safe.
Jake, last.
I'll just follow up on the housing. As Chief Gomez, the chief of the Housing Bureau, testified at City Council yesterday, over the last 3 weeks, we have in fact been beefing up significantly the Housing Bureau policing of the developments, particularly those developments that have shown a spike in crime in recent weeks. Additionally, on the beginning of July, when our current recruit class of 600 officers comes out of the academy, there'll be a significant additional complement of officers going into the housing developments as we begin the summer months.
Do you mind explaining a little bit more about the forensic evidence that led to the identification?
No, we'll just leave it at that we have forensics evidence that leads us to believe that the individual we're asking the public assistance and your assistance in locating is this individual. That's why he is now wanted for homicide and identified with a photograph and name as the suspect, we believe, on the Sunday night incident. As we have indicated, we have not ruled him out on the Friday night stabbing death of the 19-year-old.
Okay,
Okay,
we have
thank
copies
you.
of that poster for you available. But thank you very much, folks. Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Borough
sir.
President.
Eric, thank you.
Okay, we got copies.